Ernest Akorebirungi. And the 4 p.m. kickoff is at hand. KAKIRA SIMBAS, they take on the Toyota Buffaloes.
Oh, Jermaine Egesa, we've talked about time and time again about teams who know what the business is like in the top flight against teams who have just started their journeys up north and upwards in the trajectory of Ugandan rugby. This is another collision course between the Buffaloes, who came out of the same place you would say the KAKIRA SIMBAS have come. A club who have decided to chart their own territory after life living under the wing of another. KAKIRA SIMBAS born out of, you could say, a convolution of players from the Hippos, now starting life in the top division after dominating in the Eastern region. What will they do against the team who walked before them and now they are running?
Start is instantaneous. It's going to look like a question of early breaks in here. That will be required to keep two teams at their top. The condition here will definitely be a huge factor, especially with the condition of the pitch itself. Seven changes made from the squad that played against the Pirates here for the Buffaloes, having just a couple of those rung in by the coach Andrew Awar, seeing the likes of Kanyanya and Diku Leo making way for Mehdi Abdallah and Obalim Eddie. Tolit replaces Mwonge Bawa. Kagua on for Patrick Matovwa at 7, while Odong replaces Mwebaze Sean. Ogwang Ronald starts ahead of Moding Allen at 13, as Hector relieves Otim Daniel of that number 14 shot. Understatement when you call it an ick. It's a real major annoyance. It's just one of those things they love to do, keep switching jerseys.
Yeah, the Buffaloes like to do that. Remember Ronald Kanyanya, and now as well the other player who liked to do that was
Mehdi Abdallah.
Yeah, Mehdi Abdallah likes to wear the number 16, Mehdi Abdallah,
as well as Hussein Shane.
We have a couple of culprits from this Buffaloes camp. I think Mehdi Abdallah is wearing number 16 today, isn't he?
Yep, he is.
That's his favorite number. But for him to swap it with a number 9? Can't wait to see what the substitute hooker will be putting on, given how these jerseys have been swapped around.
30, maybe. That is if it's Takan Rodney that will have to take that place.
Takan Rodney is a prop. Well, we have time to, as there's that stoppage, we have time to just mumble about things that make our hearts happy, the things that make our hearts frown in this game of rugby, Jermaine. It could be just a senseless rant, given that these players, we are in the comfort of the commentary booth, a bit of warmth, some air conditioning. They are out in the open field, bearing the weather elements as they come.
Line out after 7 minutes of play. Floated in. It's a bubbly ball. The referee seems to let play continue here for the moment.
I think there's a call that's been missed. Double knock on, but play on nonetheless. Look at that. The captain from across the border, Brave Okomo, who has found home at KAKIRA, is carrying strong. Another man who has found home in Ugandan rugby is Claudius Hiriagan, said to be a Tongan.
Interesting.
Or rather, that's a largely one-sided first half between these two teams, the Toyota Buffaloes and the KAKIRA SIMBAS. The scoreboard telling the story of the game. The Toyota Buffaloes leading by 12 points to nil against the KAKIRA SIMBAS team who barely got out of first gear. But as we've seen in Ugandan rugby, the first half is not the entire story of a game of rugby. 80 minutes is what's to play for, and now we are shaping up for the final 40. A couple of changes made by the Buffaloes, as we can see on our screen, bringing on the youngsters at the front row. Rodney Takan will be coming on, as well as Brian Chanda and Ndikuriayo Leonard. as this Buffaloes team look to bounce back from what was a slim defeat against the champions, the Stanbic Black Pirates, here at their own turf. But they are contending with a team who are beginning to chart a path that they did over 10 years ago. The KAKIRA Simbas walking away from Dam Waters and the Hippos Rugby Club to start their own life close to the sugar factory in KAKIRA. And after a year down under in the eastern region, KAKIRA Simbas are now a Premiership team. Difficult start to the season. Perhaps this could be the moment. This is the 40 minutes they are looking at getting a positive result. 12-0 is not an unimaginable score by all metrics in Ugandan rugby. We have an exciting 40 minutes to look forward to here on a wet and soggy Chadondo rugby ground.
Still a lot to chase for the Simbas, still the potential of an upset. Still looking for a way into daylight here as the second half gets underway. The Toyota Buffaloes kick us off here for the second half of week 3 in the now special National Rugby Premiership. It's a pretty soggy pitch, but it has seen worse, as I'm reliably, constantly reminded. Did have a quick chat with Joshua Wakabi, the chairman of Storms, at halftime. Looks pretty optimistic, thinking a few more games under the belt will do the trick. And Zore has promised that there will be an exclusive with our rugby connoisseur Anesta Korebirungi that you'll probably get to see a little later on NBS Sport.
Yeah, I mean, if KAKIRA Simbas did it, so can the Storm. They pick inspiration from a fellow Eastern Region team that walked away from Dam Waters Rugby Club. But right now the focus is on the team in red and black, and that is the Buffaloes, with an exciting backline of youngsters. Oh, what a backline they have.
Putting it to full use they are. For the moment, Claudia goes to the ground.
I mean, you have Hussein Shane at number 9 now on the playing field wearing number 26. He goes to a youngster at the front row in Rodney Takan, who has a good boot on him, so you'd be forgiven for thinking he's a backliner. But look at where that pass goes. David Bajananseko, a youngster. Yasin Waswa, a youngster. Aaron Tuke has been around for a while, but he could be a youngster as well, given we have players who have spent over a decade in the game. Mehdi Abdallah, also not the most of senior. So this Buffaloes team, if they continue in this trajectory with these young men, when they become mature, they could spring a surprise in the title conversation.
The question for many is now what qualifies as a youngster in rugby, especially when you have those that play for well over a decade. Big debate. In the meantime, one of the updates that's coming in from the Kings Park Arena, 24-3 for the Stanbic Black Pirates in that game against the Rhinos. Line out, it is now for the Simba, and it's straight thrown to the Buffaloes. That's a proper giveaway, and not much the fault of the man throwing in Makita. Ball is taken out. The team needs to be a little more alert and understand the task at hand. Simbas choose to play out of that defense, and turns out to be foolhardy as David Bajananseko manages to wrestle the ball away from them. Now here comes Douglas Mosoke looking to float in, lands squarely on the head of Claudius. Somehow they'll get to continue. Referee bringing it back for the earlier infringement. It's that part of the pitch where control is just a formation. There's very little of it in that soggy part of the pitch. Somehow neither team is committed to quickly getting the ball away from that area. They're both content to contest for it here. Scrum coming up.
Jermaine, it's one of those rare situations. If you could look at the screen, you'll see the team doctor of the Buffaloes, Dr. Rakijuma, taking care of Rosenberg Kanyunyuzi as she pulled the cuff as she ran on the touchline.
I remember she had a game earlier, but I'll tell you one thing, Rosenberg has mastered the art of staying on the duty even while other things are going on around her. We saw her shoeless being fastened earlier by Yvonne Najuma while she was officiating a conversion. Now she's keeping an eye on the scrum while she's getting touched up there by the team doctor.
That was one of the most unsafe scrums I've seen. The Buffaloes walking over the KAKIRA Simbas.
I'm telling you, that's loss of possession there.
You know, I was telling you about this Buffaloes backline. Hussein Shane at 9, Yasin Waso at 10. At 12, you have Owen Mugogo, 13, Ronaldo Gwang. Then you move out to the wing. Fat Moses Watmon may be the most senior of them. But then on the blind side at that wing, you've got another of the players that you'd call a youngster, and that is in Emmanuel Odong. Or rather in Fat Moses Watmon is the one at the blind side with Hector Tuinomugisha all the way in the open side. Hector, I think, should be the one that came in from the Mongas, and then Aaron 2K at fullback could qualify to be one of, if not the youngest backlines that we have in the country. There's Hector. Oh yeah, signing from the Mongas.
Nice switch back to Aaron 2K. Tries to assess space and realizes it would be unsafe to go on the outside. Just give him just enough to give him a glimpse of what could be a glorious run out. I think he was very smart not to fall for it. Nice pick. Olueng. Oh, sorry, that was Musoke. Interestingly, club captain for the Buffaloes, Moses Olueng, is missing for a second week in a row. Last week was understandable. He was playing against his parent club, which is also a bit confusing in its own that Buffaloes chose a player on loan as captain.
I saw Moses Olueng arriving just before kickoff. Maybe we'll get a chance to see him on the playing field.
I don't see him on the starting lineup, on the team lineup actually. I think he'll be in for it today.
The way Hussein Shane just ups the ante for the Buffaloes coming off the bench. It's like the forwards needed a boost and he's the man to provide it. And there's that boost I was talking about. The referee didn't get a clear view at it. It's to the side where he's standing. Not sure if Rosenberg Kanyunyuzi did as well, but that's a difficult call that Olupot will have to make. Looked like the try had been scored, but from the referee's view, we await a decision.
Meantime, Molokova Barbarians are in action against the Victoria Sharks. Yeah, doesn't look good for the Victoria Sharks for now. Waiting to get confirmation of the results in there as well.
Yeah, when in doubt, Olupot makes the decision to keep the score as is, so he goes for held up. Gift Luchamuzi exits very beautifully with a kick that goes only as far as Yasin Waiswa just outside the 22. And look at Yasin Waiswa splitting the defense through the middle, now back to the 5-meter line.
Just looking to get themselves on the ascendant. Good release from Hussein Shane. Hussein manages to get the ball once again, trying to forge forward. Buffaloes making very good use of contact. Second game that went to halftime today at a scoreless for one team. Was the case against the Eels, is the case against the Simbas, as a wiggle and a dot down. And that question will not count. The referee might have to make a bit of consultation with the touch judge.
Oh, Hector Tuinomugisha. Oh yes, the call's been made. He did everything right, Hector, but that was the instance before he got to the ball, lost forward by air, should be Aaron 2K, as he attempted the gather, and that try has been chalked off. It's the second time the Buffaloes have reached the in-goal area and come with nothing because of the handling of the ball.
But John Anseko seeming to have a bit of pointers to give to the backliners. Preparing that scrum there.
Brave Okumu needs to be really quick. They've been on the back foot a lot, the KAKIRA Simbas at scrum time. He needs to be quick to get that ball out, and you can see already he's bound but not holding on. He's just ready to pick the ball and go.
The referee feels the Buffalo's doing a little too much.
I'm not sure if that's legal though. Having your shoulder in contact but not the arms, because the bind is with the arms, not with the shoulders. It's the full range of contact, we could say. But as we know, there are laws, not rules, and Brave Okumu has found a smart way of interpretation. As long as my shoulder is in contact, I'm bound, so my hands can be anywhere, just ready to receive the ball as soon as it is hooked towards me.
Wasaja Richard coming off, and it looks like Bwire Isaiah is the man that's brought on for the KAKIRA Simbas. Bakita Gracious will deliver the line out. It's actually, no, it's Wasaja is still on. Someone else who came off.
I mean, I guess that's Brian Tare. But I was about to tell you that I'm interested in knowing what the interpretation is from the other referees regarding how Grace Okumu is binding at scrum time. It's one of those is bound to make a good discussion.
Sticking it in here and fighting to get out of their own area. Might be easier to look for a box kick as Okumu once again has the ball and is getting dragged to the line out. It looks like his shoulder already tapping there with the referee.